Welcome, Lawn Care Nation, and thanks for tuning in to another episode. I just wanted to remind you guys that if you do find value in the content that I provide and you want to show your appreciation and in turn support the show, that an easy and simple way to do this, especially with the holiday shopping season upon us, is to use my Amazon affiliate link. You can find the link in the podcast show notes or simply type in lawncarebusinesssuccess.com/Amazon into your browser. By doing this each time before you do your Amazon shopping, this allows me to earn a small commission on all your purchases, which I can then in turn turn around and reinvest into making great content. Thanks again for listening to the podcast, and let's get on with the show. You're listening to the Lawn Care Business Success Podcast, the weekly show sharing proven methods and systems in marketing, equipment, and customer service, educational and motivational, to help make your lawn care business an overwhelming success. Now here's your host, Julio Tomei. Welcome, Lawn Care Nation, to another episode of the Lawn Care Business Success Podcast. I'm your host, Julio Tomei, and this is episode number 127, entitled Practicing Gratitude to Increase Your Success. Well, hello, everybody, and thanks again for joining me this week on another episode of the Lawn Care Business Success Podcast. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week and downloading those episodes, as well as the questions and comments and feedback that have coming through, and the podcast reviews. Now, when I say this on a weekly basis, that I really do appreciate you guys tuning or leaving reviews and the questions and comments and stuff, and tuning into the show. And I know the message can sometimes be lost because it's so repetitive and you hear it over and over again. But I just wanted to reiterate that how much it does mean to me for you guys to constantly be in contact with me, to leave those reviews, and just to let me know that you do find value in the podcast. Like I've said in the past, podcasting is so much different than doing, say, YouTube videos, which I'm, as most of you guys may know, I'm starting to get more and more into the YouTube videos. And if you haven't checked out my channel, I would encourage you to do so. You can go to youtube.com/lawn care business success and consider subscribing there. And I'm, like I said, I'm starting to find getting more comfortable and starting to find a lot of joy in doing YouTube videos as well. But when I say that I do appreciate it, like I said, it's completely different from YouTube, where if you do a video, you get comments down below, and it's sort of almost immediate feedback from people. Where on the podcasting side, it's a lot different. It's people have to sort of go out of their way if they want to comment on a podcast that they're listening to. They have to either pull out their email and send you an email, or they have to find you on social media and comment there. So it's a bit different, and you don't get near as much engagement as you do, say, on the YouTube side of it all. So like I said, I do appreciate it because I do know that it takes a lot of extra effort on your guys' part. Now, on that note, I did actually discover that I got 2 new iTunes reviews over the past week or so. So the first one, again, is a 5-star review from Corner Lawn, and the title is called Encouraging, and it says, I love listening to the podcast while I mow because finally I feel like someone understands why and how I do what I do for a living. Thank you for the encouragement. Well, thank you very much again, like I say, for leaving that iTunes review for me. Another one that came in this week, another 5-star review, was from Greenscapes, Ohio. And the title says, this podcast has changed everything. So it goes on to say that my days have been so much better since finding this podcast. Great information from a really down-to-earth, real guy. Both educational and entertaining. Really helps pass the time while I'm working. I've been in the industry for 20 years now. I wish this was around when I was getting started. My only complaint complaint is that they aren't daily, and I'm running out of past episodes. Thanks a lot for making my days better, Ron from Greenscapes, Ohio. Well, thank you very much, Ron, for leaving that review for me. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, on that sort of note, I wanted to sort of go along with that theme for today's episode, especially considering that if you are in the United States of America listening to this podcast, of course, this week is Thanksgiving. So what not, a better episode to cover the topics of being thankful for what you have around you and what you have achieved thus far. I strongly believe that, being grateful and having sort of that gratitude mindset will in turn increase your success in the long run. And we'll get into that throughout today's episode. Now, a couple of things along this way that sort of led me to this episode. And one was I think it was last week. Brian from Brian's Lawn Maintenance put out a video on his YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put a link in the podcast show notes for his YouTube video. But he and his wife did a video talking about putting out or making cards on Vistaprint for saying thank you to his clients on Thanksgiving, that he will send out for Thanksgiving, and that most people, he knows that, a lot of people send out cards for Christmas and all that sort of stuff, and that's what I do. But he made a good point in saying that, for Christmas time, people get tons and tons of cards, and your card, if you're sending one out, may get lost in the shuffle. And that was a really good point, I thought, that he made. So he likes to make cards for Thanksgiving, just to send out to all his clients saying that, he's thankful for them being a client, and, that sort of, along those sort of lines. And as most of you guys know, if you follow me, follow my channel, I've been doing this for years, but doing it with the traditional Christmas cards, which I still, would continue doing. I think, even if I were to adopt Brian's tips on doing a Thanksgiving card, although you're looking at, only about a month and a half between the two, so it might be a bit difficult in that sense. But with sending out two sets of cards at the same time, basically. But nonetheless, a fantastic idea, something that I think you guys should all do at the very least, sending out a card. Now, for Christmas, I also like to package up small gifts and things for my clients. I have done for years in a row. I was doing bottles of wine for all of my clients, and for clients that were just, say, one-time mows or things like that throughout the year, then they would just get the card. But for the regular clients, I would do, the bottle of wine, sometimes chocolates with it, or some fancy cookies or things like that to go with it. Just a nice little gift or package, just to let them know that you are very appreciative. Because if you think about it, when it comes down to it, no matter whether or not a client is what some would say a PITA, type client, a pain in the butt type client, or whether they're a fantastic client, it's your clients that allow you to do what you're doing. And obviously something called you to go into entrepreneurship. Something in you, made you or set you on this path. I know for me, I've been working for as long as I can remember. My first jobs, I think I was 11 years old, delivering newspapers, and I haven't stopped working since then. And I'm 42 now. So I've always been working, whether it was delivering newspapers or fast food jobs or delivering auto parts or, the list goes on, working at hardware stores, Home Depot, all sorts of jobs. I've had so many jobs over the years and so many different entrepreneurial, paths as well, of different businesses that I've tried and things like that as well. And, something gets you along that path that starts to pull you into that direction of becoming a sort of self-sufficient, self-made person, working on your own and not having to rely on, not building your own dream, but building somebody else's dream instead. And when you look at it and you go back and you analyze all of the jobs you do, all of the clients that you are, fortunate to be truthful. You're fortunate to have interacted with each and every one of those clients because they allow you essentially to do what it is that you're called to do. And without those clients, you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to be working on your dream. So even if a client is a bit of a pain at times, to be mindful, and I go through this all the time. There's a lot of talk about the, firing clients and all that sort of stuff. And, I have done that from time to time, but it's really extraneous or extreme circumstances when I do something like that. For the most part, I'll be mowing a client's lawn, and sometimes it's just lack of communication or something like that, where you start to feel like you just don't like doing that particular lawn. You don't like something about it. And I keep saying to myself certain times that I'll find myself saying, I'm done after this year with this guy, right? I'm not coming back to this guy. I'm not going to do this lawn anymore. I just don't like it, blah, blah, blah. And then, a funny thing happens over the winter season, but the thing is too, is I would never, fire a client or stop service on a client mid-season. I always, regardless of how much, I don't like doing a particular lawn, I keep with it until the end of the season, because I will not break my commitment. If I said that I would do that lawn, that I'm doing that lawn. So I don't break my commitment and I'll stick with it. But then this is where I'll find myself saying, okay, next year, then, I'm just not going to do this lawn anymore. But then I find myself, over that rest period, you're tired towards the end of the season. You're ready for a bit of a break sometimes. And, I find myself after being rested for a few months that I'm just excited to get back into it. And I'm not even thinking about, letting clients go or things like that. I'm on the opposite end. I want to keep every client that I've already got, and I want to build more on that, or work on more density to make them more compacted so I can do more clients in less time. You just, you have that mindset of gratitude to think back, to have some time for reflection, to think of, that you don't want to just give up a client like that, because they are what is enabling you to do your dream, to work on whatever version of the dream is yours. Now, before I get any farther in this episode, going back to Brian's lawn maintenance's video, and like I said, it's a fantastic video. I encourage all of you guys to watch it. But a quick little tip here, because this is this week with Thanksgiving and then Black Friday and then ultimately Cyber Monday coming up. There's some great sales. And what I've done, and I commented on this in Brian's lawn maintenance's video, was that what I've been doing, I found a bit of a trick, was that early on when I was ordering Christmas cards, I just happened to, I would design a Christmas card the way I liked it using Vistaprint. And just a quick plug, Vistaprint I think is fantastic. Never had an issue with them. Their prices are great. And the service is fantastic, and ultimately the end product is just awesome. Their customer service, like I said, is fantastic. Any issues I've ever had with Vistaprint, like I remember once getting an order for postcards and the colors were off a bit because it looked like maybe some of the ink was running out. So half the order you could see that it was starting to fade, and it was getting worse towards the end. And I just called them up and let them know, and there was no questions asked. They just remade the order and sent me a whole new set of things and let me keep the old ones to use up as many of the ones that I could salvage out of that shipment. So I would highly recommend Vistaprint. You guys can go to lawncarebusinesssuccess.com/Vistaprint. If you like. I don't believe they have a referral program anymore. They used to, so I'm not sure if that link does anything anymore. But feel free to use that if you like. But getting back to my little tip there, I found that with Vistaprint, if I would design my postcards, a day or two before needing to actually order them, what I found the first year was having those postcards sort of in my account but not ordered, or in my checkout but not ordering, and signing up on Vistaprint. They would send you, they send you their emails and all that sort of stuff. But I found that at Cyber Monday and Black Friday that they would highly discount their products. So, and what I would do was, they offer you, I believe, free, they would have, like, say, a deal like 60% off, or something of their regular prices during Black Friday or Cyber Monday, sort of deals. And the other thing too that you can do is that, I think on a lot of their things, they'll have free shipping as well, or free shipping deals. Now, of course, the free shipping takes a lot longer than regular deals. And I think the first year I found that, okay, well, this isn't going to work. I'm not going to get it in time for when I want to hand these cards out for Christmas. But what I started doing, and this is what I commented on Brian's Lawn Maintenance's video, was I started then ordering. So I did my order for that year with regular shipping. So I would get it within, the week or so. But then I thought, hey, what if I redesign a new Christmas card and order them for next year and take advantage of this 60% off, and then that way with this second order I won't be in a rush because I won't need them for this year. So then I can take advantage of the free shipping too, because it doesn't matter when they come. It doesn't matter if they come a week before Christmas or something like that. I don't need them until next year. So that's what I started doing. So every year at this time, this week, for Black Friday week, I will design my Christmas card for next year. And I'll put my order in and take advantage of the best possible savings that I can, plus free shipping, because I don't care how long it takes. It could come after Christmas. It wouldn't matter to me. Because they're for next year. And I have gotten such smoking deals in the past because of this, that it's just something that I now have put into practice every single year, is that I will now go. Now, if you miss out, because they'll send you emails, they're trying to pressure you. They'll say, this much time left for Black Friday. A thing, make sure you order by back, and then, but ultimately, sometimes they'll extend it the next day, or they'll put it back to regular price, but then Cyber Monday, the following Monday, it goes back on sale for the exact same price as I was going to say Good Friday, the Black Friday sale prices. So just something to consider, play around with it, and make sure that you're on the Vistaprint email list. Now, I know that at first they're going to send you a whole bunch of emails, and you can, customize your preferences there and just sort of do like, once a month or something like that. But that way you're going to get some really good offers sent to your email for ordering stuff. So just another little tip there. So I'm just going to break for the podcast announcements, and then we'll get back into the rest of the episode right after this. So stay tuned. Hey guys, if you have any questions or comments about the show, I'd love to hear from you. You can head on over to lawncarebusinesssuccess.com/contact. And while you're there, why not join my mailing list and get access to a free PDF document of a landscape maintenance contract you can feel free to copy and use in your own business. For you Instagram users out there, be sure to follow me at Lawn Care Business Success. And if you haven't checked out my videos yet, well, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe to the Lawn Care Business Success YouTube channel. Now, I know you guys love listening to audio while you work as much as I do, so I've partnered up with Audible to offer you guys a free 30-day trial and 2 free audiobooks of your choice. There's no long-term commitments, and you can cancel anytime. And get this, even if you cancel during your free trial period, you still get to keep the 2 free audiobooks. It's a great way to try the service and to see if Audible is right for you. So why not give it a try? Head on over to lawncarebusinesssuccess.com/audible. Now back to the show. Okay, so before the break there, I was talking about Vistaprint and getting a bit of a break there using, some of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, and using the tip of ordering those in advance so that you can, not worry about the timeline so much, and take advantage of free shipping as well to increase your savings and basically order your cards a year in advance. Now, like I say, if you're just stumbling upon this now, you may have to bite the bullet on paid shipping to get them in time, because you want to have enough time to go and mail them, or I like to hand deliver all of my cards to my clients and give them the gift by hand as well. But just something to keep in mind there. Now, as far as, having that mindset of practicing gratitude. So what I mean by this is that, I believe that having that gratitude mindset will increase your success. Now, think about this. If you are, walking around on a daily basis and you're working and you're ticked off about something, or you're upset because maybe you don't have enough clients, or maybe it's taking too long to, you're starting out, it's taking too long to build those clients. You're having a hard time paying the bills, or it seems like customers are always trying to get the cheapest work out of you, or always trying to negotiate lower prices on things. And it just puts you in this mood of always being a victim, of going around and thinking, that, things aren't working out and all that sort of stuff. Or maybe it's your vehicle. Maybe you got a truck that's, it doesn't look the nicest. Maybe it's not the prettiest, or maybe it's breaking down on a regular basis, and you're upset about that. You're always thinking about that, or you're getting lost and thinking about the competition, and you see them with fancy mowers and fancy new trucks and crews and things like that, and you almost have a bit of resentfulness in your mind when you think about stuff like that. Think about the, overall persona that you're putting out there when you're on a client's lawn. If all that stuff is running through your brain, if that's what you're thinking about, if that's what you're consuming in your mind, or using your time to worry about, you're going to be in a bad mood all the time. You're going to be grumpy. What happens when think about when you're in a bad mood, when you're ticked off about something, you know, do you like to put yourself out there and talk to people? Do you like to, engage with people and have friendly conversation? Probably not. You're probably more leaning towards, leave me alone. Just let me go, stew, on my mood, lock yourself in your room, or, you just want to be by yourself, and that sort of thing. Now think of that persona that you're putting in. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means. I have, caught myself doing this as well, of being, there might be something on one job that I'm doing that, ticks me off for some reason. Maybe it's, here's an example. Maybe it's like, animal waste, not being picked up prior to me showing up. Now, if you guys know me, you'll know that, animal waste is like my biggest pet peeve. And it's nothing to do with the animal. I've got a dog myself, and I pick up my own dog waste in my own backyard. But for me, it feels very disrespectful if somebody is hiring you to do something like mowing the lawn, and you give them a set schedule, and you're there reliably each week on the same day at the same time, and they can't bother to even clean up the dog waste. And you're left, trudging around their lawn with your machines, and, you're trying to avoid it, but you may be stepping on it. It's getting in your boots and all that stuff. Then, you eventually carry it into your truck. These things you can see quickly how these things will start to build on each other and seemingly get worse and worse and worse in your mind. And it just puts you in a tailspin and can put you in a really bad mood. And now you go to the next client's house, and this client is, a good client, and you're going to mow the lawn, and the client comes out because they need to talk to you. And because you're in a bad mood, they're going to quickly sense that this is now, it's not a good time to talk. Your body language, the way you respond, maybe short answers, maybe no eye contact, maybe not turning off a mower to talk to them, so they're having to talk over the mower, and it's just going to set them off. It's going to make them think that, okay, I'll just tell them next week. But, what you may not know is that maybe they were coming down to tell you that their neighbor was talking to them and asking, if they could, ask you if you would be able to take on their lawn as well, because they love your work. But because you're in a bad mood, that client may not come and tell you that now because you're not approachable. Or maybe that client is there to tell you or ask you to take on some, large project for them that you may have been talking about or something like that. And now, because of your mood, because you're not practicing gratitude and instead being resentful, you may miss out on that opportunity. So, this is something that you always have to be mindful of, is that instead of being, in that mood of, okay, well, I'm ticked off because, that client, doesn't clean up their dog poop. And now I've got it in my boots, and I'm probably going to have to get in my truck, or it's going to take me a few minutes extra now to clear it off and all of that. Instead of being or finding yourself go into that trap of resentfulness, try to practice gratitude in that moment. and think that, okay, yes, I really don't enjoy when this happens, but this client is a really good client. And they've never not paid me. They've never complained about the bills. They never ask me even for a price beforehand when they tell me to prune some trees or trim some bushes. They just let me do it and bill their credit card. And they never complain. So maybe instead of being resentful in that moment, I just need to send them an email and remind them that the dog waste needs to be picked up. And that way, you're not going to stew on it. You're not going to play those games in your head where you're, the victim, where everything is against you. And you're not going to carry that to that next client. Like I said, with that example of a client coming out, and we've all been there where you talk to somebody and you can tell right away from that person's body language, and maybe their answers and stuff, that they're not in the mood. Now think of the opposite of this. Think about if you were grateful and had that mindset of gratitude for every small moment. Think about that. Think about how that could potentially impact your business. If you were, in that moment going in that yard full of dog poop and instead going, I'm really grateful that I get to do what I like, that I'm my own boss, and that this client has hired me over the competition and allows me to come onto their property each week and always pays me on time, never complains about what I charge them, and, putting your mind into that attitude. And I'm grateful for being alive today. And I'm grateful for it's that saying that I always say about when somebody asks how I'm doing. And I always say, I'm doing great. That I'm great because I woke up this morning. And that is fantastic, because the alternative is not so great. And I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about that in the past as well. And now carry yourself to that next client, and they come out to talk to you, and because you're in that gratitude mindset, you're happy to talk to that client. That client is coming down, and you're grateful that they want to take a moment of their day to see how you're doing. And you realize or find out quickly that they're giving you a referral, that a neighbor has asked them if they can, talk to you about doing that lawn next door. Or that client's asking you if you would, be able to take on a certain project for them. And maybe it's not something that you normally do, but they know that you offer some other services, and they know they can trust you, they like you, and they know you. So they're giving you the opportunity to earn more income if you'd like it. All because of your attitude. All because of your gratitude. And how you're appreciative of the opportunity to be your own boss and to work and live on your dreams and on your terms. when I used to, or when I, not when I used to, but when I go and give out Christmas cards to clients and I hand them a gift, it's part of why I like to do it in person. Because I will shake that client's hand and I give them, that bottle of wine, or I give them that card, and I look them in the eye and I say, thank you for your business. My family and I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. And then I wish them a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. And I continue that gratitude mindset. Or at least I try to. Like I said, I'm not perfect. So, I try to. And I believe that if you can find gratitude in every moment. If you think about that gift that you have been given to be alive and to experience life, you can find gratitude in every single moment. Now you may say, well, I just lost a loved one. How can I find gratitude in that moment? How can I be happy in that moment? Well, you can have gratitude for being a part of that person's life, or having that person a part of your life, for having the privilege of maybe being a part of that person's family, of being touched by that person, and that you will carry that on with you and the memory of that person for the rest of your days. There's always gratitude or things to be grateful for in every moment. And I believe, like I said, by knowingly practicing that gratitude mindset, that it will not only increase your own happiness, and you will start to enjoy every moment of your life, rather than falling into the trap of, when I make $1 million, that's when I'll be happy. When that's when all my problems will go away. We all know and have heard of people who we would deem to be much more successful than ourselves and who have been miserable or committed suicide when they seemingly had it all. Practicing that gratitude will help you to appreciate every moment, every breath, and in turn will make you a more happy and cheerful person. And that will lead to your success, because you will be attractive, or other people will be attracted to you because of that. They will want to be around you. They will want to engage with you because of how you are and how you make them feel. And in turn, you will get more work and make more profit and be more successful and achieve your financial dreams and your goals much easier by practicing that gratitude. So I hope that this episode has been, helpful to you guys, especially during this week of Thanksgiving. There's so much to be thankful for and to practice that gratitude, but not just on a once a year basis, but on a daily basis in each and every moment. Like I say, if you don't know where to start, just start right now. Quiet your mind, take a deep breath, and be grateful for that air filling your lungs. And just start there. So that's it for this week. Here's to wishing you guys all overwhelming success and freedom in your lawn care business. Bye for now.